Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aaliyah Amira. I help women break through mental clutter so that they can align with their highest and best self. Do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, somewhere below this little screen. Thank you so much. I'd really appreciate it. In this video, I want to talk to you about the ego because I feel like understanding my own ego is what really helped me all those years ago to really break through my limiting life patterns and begin to really move my life to my own personal next level. So, I'm going to share with you some key differences between your ego self and your higher self. So, these differences have really helped me on my own journey to really begin to align with my own best self as well as my purpose. And my goal is to help you to understand the differences so that you can begin to consciously create from a mind space of love and light versus fear and division. Now, you've probably already heard of the term ego. So I know I first heard it, I believe I was in high school in a psychology class, right? But your ego is basically your self-esteem, it's your sense of importance in the world, right? Its goal is to keep you safe, separate, unique, and totally different from everyone else, right? So, whenever you hear a voice in your head that's really trying to get your attention, it's going to be loud, it's going to be direct, and it's going to try and grab your attention using like fear and panic and worry. And it may always cause you to second guess yourself in your life. It's going to be the thing that kind of keeps you stuck in place, so to speak. So, whenever you try something new, if you feel like you need to stop, you need to just sit still, you need to do something else, it's probably that ego voice keeping you stuck in your own life. So, your higher self voice, on the other hand, that voice, it usually comes through lighter. It's usually more calm, right? It's more freeing. Think of it as a North Star. It's always guiding you towards light, love, oneness, purpose. It's your elevated level of consciousness, right? Okay, so now that you understand the ego versus the higher self a little better, let's get into these differentiators because I definitely use some of these to start to shift my mindset to get out of my ego mind and more towards my higher self, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to ask you is, have you ever tried to start something new, whether it be a new hobby, a new business venture, you just wanted to make progress on a fresh new idea that you had, but you felt like you had to wait. You kept listening to that voice in your head telling you to wait till the time was right, wait till you go back to school, wait till you know more about the thing, wait till you have more resources, or wait till you get more skills to do the thing, right? If you've ever been in that situation and you really listen to that voice in your head telling you to wait, more than likely you're following your egoic mind because it's always trying to be perfect. It's always seeking to help you to be perfect, right? And the reason why that can be bad is one, because it's causing you to wait to do everything. But not only that, we all know that there is no such thing as perfect, right? Um, One of the affirmations that helped me really overcome this belief from my ego mind, because I was really that person like, oh my goodness, I cannot start this new thing. The time isn't right. I don't have all the resources. I don't know how to do it. I don't know who to ask. I don't want it. I don't want to put it out there and it just looks horrible, right? I would just tell myself that it is progress over perfection. Just get it done. Just begin to make progress, and eventually you can perfect your skills, but you have to start first. Or you could just tell yourself that done is better than perfect. Either one works, okay? So that's my first differentiator. It's just perfection. Your ego mind wants to be perfect, right? The second one is that your egoic mind is always trying to keep you safe. And I know I've said that a few times, but it really, really wants to protect you at all costs, right? And if you ask yourself, like, what is it protecting me from? Well, it's protecting you from fear because that's really the emotion that it's rooted in, right? It's rooted in fear and shame. And shame is really just feeling like you could possibly be humiliated in a situation. It doesn't want you to be embarrassed. It doesn't want you to be judged or criticized or blamed. It can cause you to just be frustrated and have really feelings of unfulfillment because it's always trying to protect you from things that are not even putting you in any type of danger, right? So fear is a choice, but danger is real, right? But our egoic mind doesn't understand that. It's just like warning, stop, back away, stand still, don't do it now, do it later. They might judge you. People might laugh at you. You might look stupid, but at the end of the day, who cares, right? So if you've ever had any of those feelings and you listened, it was more than likely your ego mind, okay? So that's number two. It's always trying to put up walls and protect you. The third differentiator is always wanting to be right. So, have you ever been in a heated debate or an argument and you can start to feel the tension, but you know, like you're not backing down, the other person's not backing down, y'all are now just arguing in circles and no one's really getting their point across? The reason why no one's able to get their point across is because you want to be right and they want to be right. And so you all are just butting heads. And if you stay in the heated debate or the argument, chances are you're following your egoic mind because it's always trying to prove itself. It wants to be right at all costs, okay? So that's definitely one of the things that the ego mind will do, and it will trick you because you'll feel like, oh, I just want to prove my point because I am right, which could be debatable, but the ego mind doesn't care if it's right for real. It just wants to prove that it's right to the other person in that moment. If you can relate to any of the voices sounding like what I just described, then chances are you were following your ego at the time, okay? But yeah, we all do it. I've been there before for sure. Okay, so now let's get into your higher self. I love talking about the higher self. So the higher self, that voice, of course, is always very calming, loving, gentle, light. It's always going to point you in the direction of your true self. It's searching for authenticity and you to just be genuine and more open and vulnerable. That's your higher self. One of the key differentiators with your higher self is that, let's just take the argument example. In that same scenario, your higher self will seek to really listen, sit back, reflect. It may even want to understand the person's point of view, right? So if you were to listen to your higher self in those moments where tensions are high, you can pretty much start to bring the conversation back down and stop yelling because it's not trying to prove itself to the other person. Instead, like I said, it just wants to understand the situation so that the two of you can connect on a deeper level, right? So that's the higher self. It wants to connect and it wants to create that unity with other people. Another differentiator, and I love this one too, But it's definitely more creative. It's going to be that voice that's giving you those bright ideas. It's always going to come through. Sometimes it comes through like a gut feeling. Like you may just get a feeling that you have to do something. Some people call it a calling, some people call it purpose, but it's definitely going to be the voice of your creativity, right? It's always pushing you towards your gifts and your talents. It really wants you to open up and share with the world all that you have to give, right? That's your higher self. So anytime you are in your life and you're following that path of passion and purpose and you love what you're doing, chances are you're listening to the voice in your head that is your higher self. Another differentiator with your higher self is that it's always going to try to make everything better. It looks for beauty. It seeks positivity in all things. If you're that type of person that just always looks to the brighter side of things and you can see positivity in other people, you make other people better even when they don't know like that they're good at something, but you can see the good in them. Then chances are you're listening to your higher self, right? You're in the flow of awareness and consciousness, and you're following your North Star towards your true passion, your true light, and your true purpose. Okay, y'all, that's all I have for today. I hope this video was valuable. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.